Yeah, so this is one I'm really excited about. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is one that I am super excited about. Couldn't really wait to get this one on video. What you see here is a Tamiya Racing Fighter, and we're going to do a little bit of an unboxing today. I've actually been waiting for this one for a really long time. I ordered this up well over a month ago, and because of everything going on with the pandemic and shipping supplies being impacted and businesses being impacted, this one took a really long time to get here, and I am super stoked that it's actually here now. There was a point where I honestly thought I wouldn't get it. So this is it, and we're going to do a little bit of an unboxing. I should mention, this is actually my first Tamiya buggy since the original Hornet release back in the 80s. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm so excited about this, because I haven't had a Tamiya buggy in decades. So this is going to be the first time in a really long time for me. So I'm really looking forward to this. And frankly, I absolutely love the way this Racing Fighter looks. Don't know if you guys can tell on camera here, but the box got kind of beat up and banged up in transit. But you know what? Normally that would bother me, but I'm not gonna let that bug me this time. I'm really happy that this thing is actually here. This particular version of the Racing Fighter is sort of one of the last ones, I think, because the Racing Fighter is now discontinued. It's been discontinued for a little while. This particular version of the kit actually includes a number of sort of hop-up items that Tamiya threw in the box. So in this particular case, it comes with an ESC that'll handle both brushed and brushless motors. It comes with their CVA shocks, as well as a brushed torque-tuned motor. I think, from what I've seen and from what I know of Tamiya, it seems like they do this a fair bit, where they'll take a kit that's just on its way out of production, kind of maybe on its last legs, and they're getting ready to replace it with something else. And they'll do this where they'll take maybe a few hop-up items just to entice customers to maybe consider buying one, and throw them in the box, just sort of maybe the last year or maybe even the last year or two of production. And I believe that's what they did with this one here, because as I just mentioned, it comes with all this stuff in the box. But you know what, without any further ado, let's actually get into this and actually open it up and take a look at what you get in the box. All right, so first things first, we've got the wheels. Now, these wheels they've actually been used on a number of different Tamiya buggies over the last few years, the Neo Fighter and a few others. But what I do like about this particular, the Racing Fighter, is that it comes with black wheels. I'm normally not a big fan of black wheels, but this particular design looks really nice in black. So I'm glad I managed to get this, because I really do like these black wheels. So the wheels. Next bag is tires. Typical Tamiya offering. So you get these nice knobby tires for the rear, and you get these 3-rib skinny tires in the front. Now this is, didn't mention this earlier, this is just a 2-wheel drive buggy, which is why you've got these massive knobby tires for the back, and just the skinny tires in the front. And I know that most people might be looking at these tires thinking, well, how much grip are you going to possibly get on these? Well, believe it or not, actually, these things will probably give quite a bit of grip, because all you need is sort of side-to-side grip when turning. You don't really need a heck of a lot when just going straight. So, yeah, these are really good. A big bag of bits and pieces. We'll open this one up. So this bag from the looks of it, contains a number of the, I guess, hop-up bits and pieces. So let's take a look. So we've got the Cva Damper set. This is typically a hop-up piece from Tamiya. So this would be an extra purchase that you'd have to make if you bought this kit without these added bonuses. So Cva. We've got standard issue Tamiya servo saver. I have actually, this reminds me, I've actually got a number of hop-up bits and pieces still coming for this, including Tamiya's hop-up high torque servo saver, but I've also got a number of other items coming for this as well. Unfortunately, again, because of the speed or lack of speed of shipping right now, they're taking a little while to get here. So what I'll do, I think I'm going to do an actual build series of this vehicle. So you know, I'll probably talk about those hop-up builds, hop-up pieces as I put this thing together. I guess body pins. What else do we have here? We've got some suspension and steering bits, I believe. So this is bag A. This is actually the first bag that you'll start with when you actually get into the instructions. Bag D, one of the later bags, and you can see it has the sort of standard issue Tamiya bushings, the plastic bushings. I do have a set of bearings on their way. Unfortunately, getting your hands on a lot of Tamiya parts right now is actually proving to be a little bit difficult. So the bearings that I'm getting, they're from Fast Eddie, which I think is a very good brand. So yeah, we've got bag B, which has some motor mount parts, again more bushings. I think this also contains some bits and pieces for the transmission as well. Alright. And the Tamiya torque tuned brushed motor. Now, spoiler alert, I don't think I'm going to be using this motor. In fact, my intention is that I'm going to be going brushless with this. In fact, I'm going to be using a Tamiya brushless motor, censored brushless motor with this. So when we get into the build, hopefully that motor will be here by the time the build starts. So stay tuned for that. We have the Lexan body. Of course, it all has to be trimmed out. This still has the protective film on this side. It's got the wing on this side as well. Now we get into some of the trees. We get, I believe this is front suspension. Yeah, nope, sorry, I'm wrong. This, I believe, is the rear suspension. We have another parts bag. This is servo mount. I believe these are sort of front and rear bumpers. Yeah, and a few other, I believe some of these parts are actually, some of these are actually available as heavy-duty replacement or reinforced parts. Another Tamiya hop-up kit that you can buy for the Racing Fighter. The gearbox bag. So this here forms the entire rear gearbox that sits on the back of the chassis. Engine mounts right about here. And this will actually accept either a 17-tooth pinion, which is what's included with the kit, or a 19-tooth pinion, which will give you a little bit more top speed. I'm actually trying to get my hands on that 19-tooth pinion. It seems right now that's proving to be a little bit difficult. Hard to find right now. Drive cups for the rear suspension and drive shafts for the rear suspension. These are actually quite beefy units. I'm normally used to seeing the long metal sort of dog bones. So this is not something I'm used to, but you know, after having done a little bit of research online regarding the racing fighter, I haven't really heard anybody complain about these, so I may or may not upgrade these to the CVT drive shafts. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I'm not really sure. Front suspension, or rear suspension, sorry, rear knuckles. This is the front suspension, upper and lower A-arms. We've got, this is the actual transmission itself. This is the standard issue Tamiya transmission. I've actually ordered up the ball drive differential, which is again another hop-up upgrade part. I've used a ball drive rear diff in another one of my Tamiya cars in a TL-01, and they're fantastic. It gives you so much more control when putting power down. So I've decided instead of using this, I'm going to be actually using their ball drive system. The ESC, now this ESC will handle both brushed and brushless motors. This does have a limit with respect to the type of brushless motor, or the number of turns of a brushless motor that you can run on this. I believe the lowest you can run is about 10.5 turns. So this ESC is not exactly, and from everything I've read and seen online, it's not exactly the best ESC, but you know what? I still remember the days when Tamiya used to give you those old mechanical 3-step sweeper speed controls. So frankly, I am beyond ecstatic that they've given us an ESC, straight in the box with this kit. So this I'm definitely going to be using, and if I do go brushless with this, I'm more than likely going to be getting the fan to cool this off as well, because I think it's going to be needed. Body mounts, body posts. I don't recall if you need to use all of these for this build. I think you only need to use 1 or 2 of these. I think the shorter ones or the longer ones are what's used on the Racing Fighter. So I think this is kind of a standard issue body mount post that they put in a number of different RC vehicles. And of course, the actual DT-03 chassis pieces, the large pieces themselves. Now, this is sort of a clamshell design where it kind of 2 halves. This is one half, this is the other half, and they kind of clamshell together and kind of create this sort of torque tube chassis design. It's something that I'm actually quite familiar with as far as Tamiya is concerned. As I mentioned earlier, I have a TL-01. Actually, I have a couple of TL-01 4-wheel drive on-road cars, Tamiya on-road cars, and they use a very, very similar chassis design where it's effectively 2 halves that come together, and they create this sort of a torque tube kind of chassis design. It's very, very stiff, very, very effective, extremely efficient. It's a bit tight on space, but knowing Tamiya and knowing the way they engineer their kits, I'm sure it'll be more than fine. So yeah, this is the DT-03. These are the front and rear shock mount towers. I actually have hop-up parts coming for these 2, so I'm going to be getting the carbon fiber Tamiya versions of these. I know it's highly recommended for the front suspension that you go with the upgraded shock tower mount. The rear, I'm doing it because, well, consistency, really. So yeah, so that's all the bits and pieces as far as parts are concerned. We've got, of course, obligatory, I guess, Tamiya legalese here. Leave that off to the side. We've got instructions on how to paint and cut out the body, and what colors to use. So that's all there. And of course, the instruction manual, and I don't really need to go into a lot of detail about this Tamiya instruction manuals are absolutely legendary in the RC industry and in the RC community. These things are wonderfully detailed, beautifully laid out. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if they spent more time developing the instruction manuals than they did developing the models themselves. These are just so well done. So there's the manual. Set that off to the side, and of course the sticker sheet. Now I've decided I'm going to do this one, and of course window masks as well. Now I've decided that I'm going to build this kit using sort of following the box color scheme. So my kit will be, my car will be orange as you saw it on the box as well. So yeah, so that's everything that you get when you purchase your own Tamiya Racing Fighter. I'm going to actually be getting, like I said, I'm going to get into putting this thing together very soon once all of the hop-up parts start to arrive. And my plan is to actually do a proper build video or a series of videos. I don't think I'm going to do it all in one shot. So it'll be a series of videos that I'll put together, sort of chronicling the build of this thing and then finally running it. So thanks very much for watching. If you've liked this video, if you found any part of it interesting, or if you want to follow along with the upcoming build, feel free to like, subscribe, you know, and comment below if you've got any thoughts. If you've built your own Tamiya Racing Fighter, the Racing Fighter is a couple of years old at the very least, so there's a fair number of them floating out there. So if you have built your own, go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you've done. I'd be interested to find out. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.